What's going on, everybody? This show is a special show I came up with probably over 2 weeks ago, and I haven't got to do it yet because I've done other shows and I've been busy. Anyways, I got a job, plus I got a girlfriend, plus I watch a lot of WWE Network, so I'm busy, so I can't do, I cannot be doing 6-7 shows a week, even though sometimes I try. Anyways, the title is why a brand split is a bad idea. There's been a lot of rumors out there since Shane McMahon has returned. There's been a lot of rumors that the brand split will return, that Raw and SmackDown will become their own brands again, and that Shane McMahon will take over Raw if he defeats The Undertaker at WrestleMania. We all know that. So if Shane does defeat Undertaker, there's a good chance there will be a brand split, and then Stephanie and Triple H will run SmackDown. So, but this video is about why a brand split, in my opinion, is a bad idea. Not reason number one, but here are some of the reasons why I don't want to see a brand split. I've seen it before. I saw it from 2002 to 2009 or 10. Whenever the brand split ended, I don't remember. I think in 2009 or 10, Raw became the Raw Super Show, and it was 3 hours, and they just ended the brand split. So both the World Heavyweight Champion and WWE Champion were both on Raw, and they were both on SmackDown. All the rosters were together again. There was no more brand split. I think after 2009 or 10. One of those years, I believe. So I saw it before. I got to see it from 2002 to 2009 or 10. That was long enough. Plus, for me, I don't have any need to want to see it again, because I watch other wrestling. I watch more than just Raw and SmackDown. I watch Ring of Honor, NXT, WWE Network, and what is on the network. I'm talking about old WCW Nitros you can watch. That's what I watch. Old ECW Hardcore TVs. You can watch AWA, New Japan Pro Wrestling. There's a lot of different wrestling out there. You can watch indies on the internet. You can watch, as I said, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, a lot of companies, indie companies, Lucha Underground, NXT. There's a lot of wrestling out there to watch. So that's why I believe there is no need for a brand split to happen again, because there's a lot of options. If you're sick of Raw and SmackDown, well, stop watching it. If you can't get through the shows, stop watching. Watch Ring of Honor, watch NXT, because NXT is a lot different than Raw and SmackDown. Also, you can watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, another reason why I think a brand split would be a bad idea. As I said, if you want something different than Raw and SmackDown, watch NXT, the WWE Network, and you have a lot of other options. And this is just an idea I have. NXT, I mean, this isn't a brand split, but they could do this because a brand split, in my opinion, is a bad idea. NXT could replace SmackDown on USA Network. I don't think they ever will. It's just an idea I have. And I would like to see NXT get a second show that could be 2 hours long and replace SmackDown. So NXT NXT has enough talent. They could bring in new talent, and they have enough guys to work a 2-hour show every week, plus their 1-hour show on the network. So NXT could replace SmackDown on USA Network, and they could still have their 1-hour show on the network. but that's just an idea. I don't think that would ever happen. Also, if you want a brand split, if you really want it, well, you could have a brand split and have SmackDown, not a brand split, but mix things up a little bit. You could have SmackDown be on the first hour of Monday night. So you could have SmackDown the first hour to replace Raw, and then the last and final 2 hours of Monday Night Raw could go back to Raw. So the first hour of Raw could be SmackDown, with just SmackDown. I guess it could be a brand split if it was a brand split. You could have the SmackDown guys, SmackDown roster of talent on the first hour of Raw, and then the next 2 hours would be Raw, in the Raw roster. So basically, you could have SmackDown for the first hour of Raw. I would enjoy that. Have Mauro Ranallo on commentary with Jerry Lawler. Then the second hour would turn into Raw. They got to do something because Raw for 3 hours is bad. It is bad idea, and it's not getting better. So having SmackDown be the first hour at least would be something different. Another reason SmackDown and Raw were, well, why I think a brand split is a bad idea, because SmackDown and Raw were different for years and years. I don't need to see a brand split come back and them to try to be different again. I enjoy the champions like Intercontinental Champion Kevin Owens, WWE Champion, even though Triple H is a champion, he never shows up on SmackDown. Anyways, I enjoy the champions being on both Raw and SmackDown. I enjoy seeing all the talent on both Raw and SmackDown. I enjoy that. I saw the brand split for almost a decade. It was enough already. Another reason why there doesn't need to be a brand split. NXT, my opinion. NXT is competition. Yes, they're under the same company. They're under the WWE funds NXT, obviously. But NXT tours on their own, and they make their own money. They've been touring. I saw NXT live in January. It was a hell of a show. One of the best wrestling shows I've ever been to, and one of the funnest. So NXT is competition to Raw and SmackDown, in my opinion. They all bust their ass. I'm talking about NXT, everybody on that roster. They all bust their ass to get to the main roster. And hopefully when NXT has their takeover events, and they do takeover events are great, and they put on great shows, hopefully that motivates the main roster to do even better and put on even a better pay-per-view after a takeover. So that is competition in the WWE. We don't need a brand split to see competition. You can watch NXT and Raw and SmackDown. That is competition in the same company, in my opinion. And some say without a brand split, a lot of people I'm sure say that it makes the main roster stale and boring and lame, and just Raw is unwatchable for 3 hours without a brand split. Well, it probably is a lot of the times it is boring and stale. Raw is. But you don't have to watch just Raw and SmackDown each week. I watch it each week because I'm insane. But that's a different story. I'm an insane wrestling fan, so I still watch Raw and SmackDown. But I also watch NXT and Ring of Honor, other companies, or other indie. I try to watch other stuff. Anyways, also, NXT talents can get called up to the main roster. So NXT, in my opinion, is like a separate brand from Raw and SmackDown. So that is a brand split right there. The NXT talents can get called up whenever. So the NXT guys we see on NXT now will eventually be on the main roster, hopefully. Guys like Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Sami Zayn's already on the main roster. Even though Sami Zayn is working both TakeOver, Dallas, and WrestleMania. That's pretty awesome. Kevin Owens was part of... Excuse me. I have to belch after I ate a lot of food for lunch. Sami Zayn's on the main roster. Kevin Owens was in NXT, was the NXT champion, came to the main roster. Who else came over? Paige was in NXT for a while. She was the NXT Women's Champion. Paige then debuted, won the Divas title. Eventually had to give up the NXT Championship, which I hated. She had to give up the Women's title because she won the Divas title. But that was back in 2014. Still to come on the NXT roster, we got great tag teams like Dash and Dawson. They would be great on the main roster. They could come over from NXT soon. So Raw and SmackDown will get better in this year, later this year, in the summer maybe, or in the fall. Raw and SmackDown should get better with a lot of new talent from NXT. Guys like Dash and Dawson, Enzo and Big Cash should go to the main roster soon. American Alpha could go to the main roster before 2016's over. Samoa Joe might go to the main roster if he doesn't win the NXT Championship. If he does, I think Finn Balor will probably debut after WrestleMania, but Samoa Joe, if he wins the title, I don't think he'll go to the main roster yet because he'll be the champion, and the NXT champion should stay in NXT. Same thing with Bayley. If she wins the NXT, if she retains her NXT Women's title, in my opinion, Bayley should stay in NXT. So there's just a couple reasons why I think a brand split would be a bad idea. Because we already got NXT in the WWE to watch. If you're totally sick of Raw and SmackDown, stop watching it and stop putting yourself through pain and agony and getting pissed off that Raw's 3 hours. I'm pissed off about it, but USA Network is not going to change Raw to back to 2 hours anytime soon. I'm sure they signed a contract for Raw to be 3 hours for the next 2 or 3 years. Maybe after the current USA contract is up with the WWE, maybe WWE will decide to take Raw to the network exclusively and not sign with any network. But I'm sure Vince wants Raw on a cable network instead of the WWE network. Anyways, I gave a lot of reasons why I think a brand split would be a bad idea. I really think it would because I saw it before. From 2002 until it ended. I saw it for years and years before. I don't need to see it again. If I'm sick of Raw and SmackDown, I have a lot of options. And you people out there have a lot of options too. You can watch NXT. You can watch Ring of Honor. You can watch Lucha Underground. You can watch New Japan Pro Wrestling somehow. Find it online. You can watch indie shows. Find them online. They're on a wrestling site where you can watch a lot of shows. Again, you can watch the WWE Network. If you hate Raw and SmackDown and you want a brand split, watch the WWE Network for some different options. Go back and watch old WCW, Nitros, and old NWA World Championship Wrestling on TBS from Saturday nights. Go back and watch that. Go back, watch AWA, a couple episodes on the network. They have. Go back and watch anything. Smoky Mountain Wrestling's on the network. ECW, a ton of ECW's on the network. 93 to 2000. All the ECW TVs are on the network. I mean, every old Raw, every old SmackDown, a lot of options are on the WWE Network. If you're craving a brand split, well, stop and watch Ring of Honor, Lucha, New Japan, or the WWE Network, or NXT. That's all I got. That's all I got to say about why I think a brand split would be a bad idea. Hope you enjoyed this video. Follow me on Twitter at TNAWWE Guy, also at NXTWWE Guy. I'll be live tweeting SmackDown tonight when it starts at TNAWWE Guy, so follow my SmackDown live tweets. Bye for now, everybody. Have a great Thursday evening and day.